What is up, folks, and welcome back to the Global Speedrun Association. We've got more 70-star action for you in our Division 1. Dwhatever versus V1RO. Germany versus Canada should be a pretty exciting match. Neither of these players need any introduction.
Yes, indeed.
Coming in, I believe, third place at pace. Meanwhile, V1RO also very consistent and has pulled out some really great runs. What do you think is going to be in store today, Shantastic?
Hey, Electric, good to be with you. I'm very, very excited. V1RO, obviously, like the up and coming flavor of 70 star at the current moment, and Dwhatever, an absolute veteran, a legend, has been in the top rankings of 70 star for about 150 years. So yeah, his dominance of the 70 star scene predates even the release of Super Mario 64, making him quite a force to be reckoned with. So I'm very excited to see what goes on here. I think we can expect to see probably slightly more. I don't know. I don't know much about V1RO, but just based on the crowds he generally hangs with, I'd expect to see like slightly more advanced strats from him, maybe, and then Dwhatever aiming kind of for that consistency. Looks like we're having a little trouble picking up Electric here.
Oh, sorry, I just got back in. I think my internet had a little bobble there. I heard most of what you said, and I mean, yeah, we're really just gonna have to watch the race and see what exactly happens here, because it comes pretty much down to how these guys are playing on a specific day. Both these guys really, really great. I feel like Dwhatever might have a bit of an edge, but V1RO has shown that he's not one to be messed with either.
For sure. And just a heads up that we are going to be having audio from Dwhatever screen, regardless of whether or not he will be in the lead. As V1RO is having a couple of audio issues.
Unfortunate, but it does seem to happen from time to time.
But it doesn't seem to matter as Dwhatever takes a commanding 3 or 4 frame lead here going into Bob on Clip.
Yeah, I mean, this is the race right here. V1RO may as well reset. Dwhatever has that just few frames, both of them in that Stargate animation at the same time, but with that slight edge, Dwhatever will be the winner today.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wouldn't count V1RO out. There's always the next race, but as far as this week goes, unfortunately, probably just best to recoup. But as I say that, oh no, he's still significantly behind. That's multiple frame difference. I'm gonna predict a 12-7 from Dwhatever, and then a 12-7 from V1RO as well, or V1RO.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say 12-6 from D, 12-8 from V1RO.
Ooh, 12-6, yeah. The main reason I predicted a 12-7 was that Dwhatever was overestimating a lot of players' times yesterday, and I wanted to give him a little what for. But definitely good on him for getting that 12-6, saving another 10th of a second, and yet V1RO taking a commanding lead. Unbelievable. Chat asking what Mario's favorite search engine is here. Might as well add that to the FAQ, but Mario's favorite search engine actually Ask Jeeves, because Mario is a boomer.
Oh yeah. You know, honestly, I don't think I've met a single person in my life that actually uses Ask Jeeves.
I used to, because I loved the RP. I loved to like literally ask Jeeves. I didn't realize you could do that on Google. Dwhatever having a little bit of flub with Canvas there and going to be taking a slightly bigger lead. But yeah, I just love the role play. It was a lot of fun. Made me feel like I had friends, and really helped me get through the 5th grade. Dwhatever going to be going for Owlist right behind V1RO. V1RO maintaining this lead. Both of them playing pretty clean here. Not many mistakes going down.
Yeah, Dwhatever with a little bit cleaner of an Owlist, but V1RO made it in the cage, not lose.
For sure. And now we're going to be seeing some 100 coin go down. V1RO going for the Pro cycle, as is... Oh, wait. I mean, sorry. Dwhatever going for the Pro cycle and V1RO going for the slightly safer intermediate Pro cycle.
Yeah, that full cycle, you actually have a decent leeway for it, but Pro,
For sure.
it takes some serious optimization. You really have to have that eye for where exactly you can save frames to make sure that you're able to get this platform. But Dwhatever, not even missing a coin on that archway. Beautiful stuff there. This is one of the later coins to make up for it.
And that's significantly going to reduce V1RO's lead. This star does move at a mile a minute, so it doesn't look like it looks like V1RO's a lot more ahead than he is because he kind of zipped through this 100 coin. It is the fastest, one of the. I'm not sure if it's the fastest 100 coin or if it's the second fastest. It and TTC 100 are the two fastest 100 coins in the game. So definitely. But as you can see here, D saving even more time and now is going to take the lead with that Pro cycle.
Yeah, I think this is slightly faster on Pro Cycle, but that is a good point that both this and TTC 100 are extremely quick and also extremely difficult, especially TTC 100.
Meanwhile, off-duty commentators showing their bias in chat, very disgraceful. Definitely gonna have to have a little talk with them. Should be showing their bias in the booth as well. And so we're going to be heading over here into the longest star in Whomp's Fortress. That is Chip Off Whomp's Block. That is, of course, because you have this long cutscene that is unskippable, as well as a boss fight that kind of gets tedious.
Yeah, and yet, despite being the longest star in Whomp's, it's still only about 30 seconds. So, if that tells you anything about how quick Whomp's is. We got those synchronized pounds. The pounding is a way that you can actually save or lose a few frames here.
That is true, depending on where in the box you are. For sure.
And now some top of the tower stuff. Dwhatever for sure going to be pulling out that swag double jump.
Dwhatever could get a 630X here. Not all that likely, but I think we're looking at a 640 flat if he plays near perfectly. Does get that. Ooh, this is gonna be close. Barely gets that 640, which is like 5 seconds off community gold, and V1RO getting a 645. So kind of a disgustingly good Whomps from both players. It's actually disgraceful. Yeah, I'm appalled at how unbelievably well these players are playing. Not really giving me much to talk about.
Yeah, I'm appalled at the 12-7 Dwhatever's about to get matched by the 12-6 from V1RO.
I'd say 12-7 for V1RO as well.
Oh,
and
the
Dwhatever blocking
D. That's gonna cost you 14-2. Wow. But what I tell you, 12-6 from V1RO. The man delivers.
Unbelievable. But yeah, Dwhatever going to be losing a significant portion of his lead.
Let's see some flying from these folks. Seen tons of people lose a few seconds to missing one of these first reds.
I think honestly, Dwhatever's going to take a little bit more of a lead here. I feel like flying and swimming are two things where experience tends to seriously pay off in terms of how well you're able to optimize that movement. It just seems like the most experienced players tend to be the strongest flyers.
Oh, I can definitely agree with that. If you think that flying is easy, you're probably infected by just watching other people do it. Go in the game and try flying for yourself. You'll see it is not easy. Just like Dwhatever proving that getting upstairs is not easy. V1RO, we'll just ignore that. But
well, I think flying is really easy, and I think it shows because my PB is over an hour. Dwhatever going here into Dark World followed shortly by and let's see what kind of cycles these guys get.
And they have 2 switch presses, no burns. Nice to see.
True.
Oh, Dwhatever going for the Shia elevator. Let's see what the rest of this area looks like. And Very nice cycle there.
Clean Shia there.
I think that was actually a super early shig. I could be wrong though. I believe for it to be Shia cycle, you have to actually do a slightly different ending, like a kick ending instead of a rollout to get on the platform.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought that. So
either
basically,
way,
I thought
he
that
did save a couple
yeah.
of seconds. I feel like with that elevator movement and how
because he got there. Yeah, basically he got there as the. I guess it depends on the rotating elevators, but he got there on the yellow bar as it was retracting, and that's a huge thing. No matter what kind of cycle it is because he's basically doing it like way faster than regular shake. V1RO, meanwhile, getting a regular shake cycle. And the yep, kind of flaunting this significant boost in his lead over his opponent. Everything's really close right now. Neither of these players actually making any mistakes. The only mistakes we've seen are Dwhatever over jumping his sock folder setup for cannonless, and then V1RO. I think V1RO just slightly worse movement, slightly worse cycle on Womp's 100, and a slightly worse cycle on Dark World.
For V1RO for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But now we're in Sky Jump. Dwhatever climbing the slope. I'm always amazed at how low these guys actually jump off of the cannon tower and how it works for them. V1RO jumps about like where I would personally jump, but Dwhatever taking that super low. He's got that experience. He knows what will work and what won't.
Indeed, and meanwhile, these players exiting Bob-omb Battlefield. That's going to be the last bit of green that we'll be seeing for a while. Don't let this be the last green you see. Download Golf Clash and hit the green. Using our Onyx.tv app, earn points while playing, gain 500 points, and win a free sub.
Can we see some fire for that beautiful commentator segue? Some GSA fire in the chat. That was beautiful ad work. As Dwhatever with the beautiful wall kicks, V1RO hoping to do the same. Got the rollout and very nice dive. All right. And we've got Rock On subbing at tier 1. Thanks so much, Rock On.
Rock On with the Onyx sub. Not sure that was a free sub using Onyx, but he used his subscription to plug Onyx, which is even better. Shout outs, Rock On, obviously, another commentator. Fantastic guy, fantastic commentary, and kind of asking us to cover up for him earlier, cover up for his bias. Not sure I'm going to do that. Definitely want to cover myself legally and don't want to get in trouble. Dwhatever, meanwhile, going for that standard CCM17. D did mention yesterday that he has a huge bias toward this. He does not want to risk messing up on CCM18.
Yeah, which honestly, like, it can be a smart move in a race, especially if you're confident in that double plus, because messing up CCM18 is super dire. And even at an expert level, it can still happen. It's one very tiny mistake is enough to just completely ruin that star. You got V1RO going in one coin short. It's the very top coin on that line. This is kind of what I was talking about, hoping... Oh, wait.
Basically means he can only miss one coin here. Otherwise, he does have to get up a backup red. There are plenty of backups that don't lose immense amounts of time, so it's not a lot of pressure here. But obviously, you do not want to be losing time when you're behind your opponent.
Yeah. But
nice
getting
and
a
clean.
very clean line all the way through. If that were on like the CCM18 route, that would just be so stressful to deal with.
Indeed. Missing one of those coins means you cannot, by default, you cannot miss any coins.
Now we got Dwhatever moving
safety.
on to BBH. V1RO about to be right behind him. Not a whole lot going on in this stage. We're gonna tumble some books to get a star, and then we're gonna tumble a boo to also get a star.
True, but we don't ever actually touch the books.
I mean, fair, yeah. You don't even see a book when we're doing the star unless you count the window view.
Yeah, I think someone should. We should have a category extension where it's not like glitchless or there's literally no restrictions, except it's 70 star. You have to get 70 stars, and you have to do all of the stars. Like you have to do what the name suggests you're doing. So like shocking airlifts, you have to take the airlifts. The bookcase, you have to go through the library. That would be a really cool category to see, like 3 times.
I'm not even sure if I would watch 3 times, but it'd be nice to see once, I would say. Well, what I really want to see is apparently there was a videotape from the 90s or like early 2000s. I think it's from Nintendo Power of some Nintendo staff doing various stars in the game fast. I would love to see that, to see what their definition of fast is. But according to our definition of fast, Dwhatever is just blazing on along. Let's hope SSL treats him well.
Yeah, Dwhatever is a machine here. And we do see him hitting the basement. Yeah, gonna be catching that pesky Widow Wabbit. Come to think of it, Mario basically looks like Elmer Fudd in a really bad, like fake costume.
I can see that.
Like a bad disguise. That's the word I was looking for. Like Elmer Fudd in disguise, and this was all a ploy to catch that rabbit twice. Tama pillarless coming out from Dwhatever. Nice and clean, clips off the fence a little bit there, and that's gonna slow his roll. Not gonna be able to get that running clip.
He was able to navigate away from Shiny Top, which was a little bit stressful. V1RO, unfortunately, not getting that re-grab, so he's gonna have to go with something as a backup, but he's just getting stuck in the mud, trying to get up on this pillar to get on the pyramid.
It kind of seemed like, because he did a little short hop there that made him hit the hill. And it was kind of like his mind was telling him to do regular pillarless, but his body was telling him to do Tama. Meanwhile, Dwhatever getting a clean second pillarless. I'm going to presume it was a Tama.
Oh, yes. An unfortunate ledge grab there, but overall very clean secrets. V1RO getting a little bit misaligned, not really sure what to do with that. He's going to have to try for Talon, but I don't know what exactly this is going to do. I think he's just going to have to wait under the pillar, which is pretty terrible. The birds seem to treat him a little bit nicely, though, but Dwhatever is just soaring through SSL.
Yeah,
No
definitely. These backups are not cheap.
Dwhatever, though, missing the Shy Guy. Oh, man, that Fly Guy is so annoying.
Yeah, that Fly Guy, missing that Fly Guy is about 4 parts RNG, 1 part not managing the RNG. So, strictly speaking, I believe it's possible to 100% of the time be able to get Fly Guy to manage like the Fly Guy RNG, I think. Oh, V1RO with a very medium bomb. Gorgeous medium bomb.
I feel like he just has a very weird aggro hitbox. Like that's the only thing I can come up with. And I think maybe like when you have these runners that are used to doing left side movement on that pillar and like other things that you're trying to do a safer strat, and you end up in a slightly different position that for whatever reason doesn't aggro him properly.
Well, the other thing to remember is that depending on where on the pillar you go, it is way more likely that the Fly Guy is going to come toward you than he's going to run away from you. So most pro players, what they'll do is they will do the long jump as soon as they hit the top of the pillar, instead of waiting until they're atop the pillar, so to speak. And so what that'll do is, if the Fly Guy has not moved at all, which if you were jumping from like the middle of the top of the pillar, that would be like God RNGs. If the Fly Guy hasn't moved at all, that's perfect. But if you're long jumping from like the back of the pillar, then if Fly Guy doesn't move at all, you're basically just gonna like bonk underneath him. And that's like, it's kind of one of those things where it's like you have to know exactly where to jump based on where on the pillar you go up, and it's kind of a presence of mind sort of thing. Very, very difficult to do.
Oh yeah. V1RO, unfortunately, getting bopped by one of those bullies.
But on the recovery.
Yep.
Yeah, botched that note in Guitar Hero, but full recovery, tops B, gets back on the
Dwhatever heading into the volcano. Probably lava boost coming up.
Dwhatever doing the long jump boost.
It's very safe, and ultimately consistency is what you're wanting in a race scenario. We've seen a couple of people have issues with that long jump setup that are known to use Pro Boost, but looks like Dwhatever has practiced his kind of backup strats here.
Yeah, seems like it. And Dwhatever finally going to be going into the bully hunting phase. Picks up a clean side flip on the first one.
Yeah, that side flip bully kill is so beautiful. Big fan. V1RO also with some nice red hot log rolling.
Indeed, and Dwhatever gonna be slide kicking back in here. As is V1RO, and these players are still within a hair's breadth of each other. I think that Dwhatever is, I don't think either of these players is like more ahead or less ahead than they seem, because they both have pretty long stars to be doing. I think Dwhatever has elevator tour to go though, so
Slight advantage, but it is still pretty close ultimately.
yeah. But we are about to see, I guess V1RO, they both have elevator tour to go, so V1RO did take the slight lead here. Interesting. I'm actually curious to see where Dwhatever went wrong.
Nice elevator tour from V1RO, and from Dwhatever as well.
I guess V1RO might have done Pro Boost. Did Dwhatever have trouble with the red hot log rolling?
I don't think so.
Oh, V1RO skipped the second second pillarless because he was having so much trouble with it. So he has to go HMC early. No wonder he's getting out of it LOL early. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I missed that. Yeah, no,
I was looking at star count, and I assumed that there was like something that I hadn't considered that V1RO was doing. Looking at the star count, I was like, V1RO's pretty behind. I don't know why you're saying it's so close. Yeah, having to skip that 1 star in SSL.
Okay, so I'm watching through the Discord video feed, and in the Discord video feed on my screen, V1RO's star count is hidden by the search
Yes.
box. And so I can't see V1RO's star count. So I was like, how is V1RO so far ahead? But yeah, V1RO doing the thing. Same thing that Puncation did in a race that he wound up winning, actually. Where he basically just takes the single pillar list, decides I'm not going to go for double, not going to try and waste my time. This is not going well. So V1RO is going to be doing probably the Toxic Maze star here. Does not necessarily have to, can do THI Reds instead, but probably going to do Toxic Maze and SL Reds, as they are relatively fast stars, 2 of the 3 fastest stars, and fairly consistent and easy to do without making a huge mistake. Meanwhile, Dwhatever looks like he's going for a cheeky front sub here.
Yep. Not going for Pro Boost, but front sub, of course, every time. Let's see how free it is, going for that right side. Beautiful stuff. Almost 0 lag.
It's funny because we all refer to Dwhatever as one of the most consistent players out there, but yet he doesn't go for Pro Boost and goes for front right sub. That is nothing if not inconsistent. So definitely calling out Dwhatever there.
I feel like if you're gonna go for front sub, the less lag the better, but even still, it's such a ridiculous strat.
It is a nutty strat.
Having a good time with the mana though. I remember a past race, he actually had to take a death because he missed like the first 2 or 3 rings, and rather than try to deal with the sideways hitboxes, he wanted to just go ahead and move on and try again. But we got Dwhatever in Fire Sea. Meanwhile, V1RO in a very not on fire, cold, damp basement, about to head into Dire Docks.
Yes, indeed. Going to have to pull a little something out. Of course, not as far behind as it may seem, has completed HMC, and thus will not have to do it later on. But obviously, Dwhatever having a very smooth, quite frankly, stellar Docs, not definitely keeping a lead of his own.
And getting a very, very nice lava boost to boot. Has nothing to complain about after this ending of the basement showing.
Yep, good ending, and we're going to be heading over into the second bout of throws.
Yeah, and V1RO completing chests very nicely. I apologize for any audio issues. My internet's doing some weird things today. I've never really had this issue before, but every so often Discord will just like stop doing anything for like 5-6 seconds.
Yeah, technology can be fickle with us sometimes. We have been having intermittent technical issues throughout the week. We do apologize for those. Unfortunately, internet is internet, and such is the case. V1RO will be going for backs up here, nice and safe.
Yeah, I mean, it's a miracle of human ingenuity and engineering that we're able to do what we're able to do with the internet. So for it to mess up every now and again, I think is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, commentator with a very positive and healthy outlook on technology, able to be thankful for what he has. I, on the other hand, expect my phone to be doing everything perfectly all the time, and if not, I will riot.
I can understand that view as well.
Dwhatever will be going here into the RNG fest that is Wet Dry World 100. Actually, opting for a cutesy little double jump kick, pulling out all the strats.
Angle.
Very interesting camera angle.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that you actually heard, but the same thing happened there. Like right as he entered the stage, the camera just started buffering. Rito, if everything doesn't go my way all the time. Yes, I too turn into a bird person anytime things don't go my way. We got V1RO in Fire C now. Let's see if you can pull out a lava boost. V1RO not liking the newer box movement. Just gonna go with the old tried and true, but might cost him. Definitely not on lava boost pace now. With that older box movement, lava boost is overall a much tighter deal.
V1RO, yeah, indeed. Ooh, yeah, definitely gonna have to go for that regular end of early Ellie's movement. We'll be sacrificing that good ending. Oh my gosh, doesn't have to wall kick. Very, very, very clean. Well done.
And one of the big problems with getting early Ellie's instead of lava boost is you're not ever sure exactly what part of the cycle that you're on moving into the ending.
V1RO wound up getting, I guess that's
that looked like good ending right there. Except for the ramp movement.
That's because it's 2 grill elevators, I think, per regular elevator. So basically, that's like a half cycle. That's like between. That's the metal pole elevators. I think that's in between early cycle and normal cycle. They do one of those, and you can get a good ending that way. At least that's my little theory. Meanwhile, Dwhatever just did Wet Dry World 100, and apparently nothing went wrong.
This is a pretty standard star for someone of Dwhatever's caliber.
True. The RNG fest can be a little fickle.
Yeah, I really hate how the route only.
Something about a route.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I hate how that route only has 1 extra coin in it. It's like with how much the spray RNG can affect your time, there really should be like 3-4 extra in the route. But I mean, there is that backup box at the end, but it's still just it feels so out of the way. I don't feel like it loses that much time, but it feels out of the way.
Yeah, it doesn't lose like a crazy amount of time. I think the main thing is that it's very unlikely for the RNG to be that bad. But when it is, oh my goodness! And strictly,
V1RO failing that double jump kick.
Yeah.
Now just has to go with the more casual strat.
Having a bit of a weird flex but okay moment. And V1RO going to be going for this express elevator in the sky. And meanwhile, Dwhatever here in THI. And I think, Electric, you have something to say about THI.
I do. And it's that THI is not a planet. Wait, sorry, this is the wrong card. Oh, right. THI sucks. If you like this stage, get out. It's terrible. It's a pile of awful. It's the developers saying, hey, what if we made the same level, but twice? And so it was.
Indeed. Dwhatever going to be going back here into THI to be cleaning up a little top the island here. Commentator alienating his co-commentator and half of chat.
THI is really the worst. It seems like people with rock-themed usernames have the right ideas about THI. Rock Chalk, Rock on X. Is, you know, there's a lot of peeps out there that seem to understand how THI really works. THI gave you nightmares as a child. Can't say I sympathize, but I count it. I can agree with that.
I think the only reason I liked THI was it was the only level in upstairs and Dwhatever falling off. Yeah, definitely the fastest thing to do is just go back upstairs. Oh my gosh.
Think of how long this takes. Kind of mentally count a little bit. That
yeah,
Shan is right.
Even.
Like it. Otherwise, you have to swim all the way back over to the shore on the other side of the stage, and then somehow figure out how to get back up to the second layer on Huge Island, and then finally fall back onto that platform. It's in such a stupid spot.
But I will say this: the presence of mind required to instantly, the moment you hit the water, press pause and then quit, because you know that is the fastest way to go, and not dilly-dally going for other things. It really goes to show that Dwhatever has clearly made this mistake enough times that he's aware that that is the way to back it up.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who's played this game for any length of time is going to make that mistake at some point. There's
having some bad RNG there, but managing to pick up all of the coins.
Sorry, glad that none of them spilled over.
Yeah, for sure.
With how close one of those piranhas in particular is to the edge, I think that's the one that actually threw him off. Oh man, that star can be rough sometimes.
It's going to be a true from me.
And with breezeless, and it's good.
Except the breezeless. Nice. Oh my gosh. I think Dwhatever is still ahead. V1RO choosing to go for the THI Reds.
It's kind of interesting. The only star that I know of that you want to start on Huge Island with.
It is indeed the only star that you start on Huge Island is THI Reds without 100.
Now, while V1RO is showing off his Reds, Dwhatever is showing off his specialty in...
Sorry, you were saying specialty?
Oh yeah, his own specialty in TTM Reds. I was actually sad I didn't get to see both. I completely missed V1RO's Reds, and I barely got to see any of Dwhatever's. I'm upset now. AT&T, you made me sad.
I said you were saying specialty because he fell off while he was going for the 7th red.
Normally he has a very, very clean Reds though, and it's very optimized.
Yeah, no, Dwhatever, I've heard legends about his Reds, but V1RO having a very clean mountain clip, a little bit of a hiccup getting out of the water, but certainly still definitely not losing time to the regular movement, which is hard to do. This route, when played perfectly, saves like a fraction of a second over just going around.
Yeah, Dwhatever does manage to get himself behind the waterfall with a little bit of a Monka-S wall kick. Heading back up to the top of the mountain, though. Glad to see nothing really going wrong for him in TTM, aside from the little bit of Reds issue that you talked about. V1RO, meanwhile, not able to get all the secrets in Sucks Island.
True.
having a lot of trouble just getting on top of the island now.
They should rename it to Stinky Stinky Land. Dwhatever going for his final TTM star. Of course, if they did that, it would be hard to distinguish from the other SSL.
See, in my opinion, they should just change the name to Deleted. Just replace it with something else. Dwhatever getting bopped into oblivion. Oh, man. Going for that super optimized setup. And I feel like he should have been a bit safer with the fact that the box was bounced against the wall, but he's going for it again. I don't even feel like this is going to save that much time. All you're cutting out is that corner movement, and then he took a little bit of extra time to actually grab the box. Scotch and Tie Guy with the sub, 5-month streak. Oh, man. 5 months of amazing. Goodness. Looking forward to 5 more, baby. Love you, 303 and Shan. Thanks so much, Scotch. Love you too, dude. I thought he had it too. That looked good, but...
Yeah, so what I've come to understand about the Blast of the Lonely Mushroom is there are 2 different ways you can take it. One is facing toward the wall, obviously, and then one is facing away from the wall toward the mushroom, obviously. And when you're facing toward the mushroom, basically the bounces are going to launch you off the edge. And so what you do is you kind of move up in order to prevent yourself from going off the edge, but not actually pull yourself into to change your momentum. So basically you push a little along the edge in order to avoid moving so far forward without changing your forward speed. The thing is, you don't do that when you're facing toward the wall. And it kind of seems like Dwhatever did that while he was facing toward the wall, and that kind of killed a lot of his positioning on the 3rd bounce. That's what it looked like for me, is that he was doing he was basically doing slightly wrong inputs for the setup that he had chosen.
Bounce itself. Okay, I think I got DC'd. I couldn't see anything really wrong with the bounce itself, but I don't know. I've heard people say that wall setup should be safer, but in my experience, it's harder for me, and I've seen more people fail it, I feel like.
Yeah, I do the wall setup, and it's very, very, very precise. Or maybe
the non-wall setup is literally just hold left and slightly down for the first 2 bounces, and then you just pretty much want to get the second bounce to land about on the seam, and then just hold straight right, and it seems to work just about every time.
Yeah, interesting.
Although I will say, yeah, with doing it the way that I do it, I always end up a little bit too far back to get the rollout to hit the star, and doing it in such a way that your rollout hits the star is definitely more precise. No matter which setup.
Yeah, it is interesting. I think there are a couple of very easy mistakes to make when you're facing the wall that can completely destroy you. And as you can see, V1RO moving a little bit to the right, edging a little bit down in order to avoid going off the edge. Dwhatever getting a clean 50-star MIPS. I think that V1RO is a little bit ahead at this point, or maybe they're tied.
You know, I hadn't actually seen anyone use the camera angle that V1RO just used for the mushroom. I don't know if that would be easier or harder. I feel like harder, but I mean, it worked, so.
Yeah, I think it might be a lag thing, but it's hard to tell because the feed wasn't as clear at that point. V1RO having actually a cleaner reds than his opponent did.
Oh, yeah. And Fastest with a great point in chat, you know, HMC is super, super quick. Granted, some of the stars in TTM and quick. SL can be fast too, but...
Yeah, HMC is quick, but you also have to factor in, like, SL is also very fast, and... Oh, wait, V1RO... Is V1RO going to be... Hold on one sec. Yeah, V1RO is going to have to go for SL Reds. So, with SL Reds, obviously, this is going to be... looks like Dwhatever still with a bit of a lead. We do have that castle movement to contend with, but Dwhatever already coasting through, picking up that triple box jump.
Dwhatever with a very nice right side emergency exit.
And V1RO with a super slick double speed kick, picking up that whirling from the freezing pond. You know what? That would be another star. You don't get to do that triple jump. You've got to go over. You got to triple jump over like you do with Snowman's Head, and you got to go and actually whirl from a spin drift. which means that would probably be the star you do first in case you kill both the spin drifts. You got to back it up with something.
Yeah, I wonder which star would look the most different. I feel like at least HMC would totally change in your name intended category.
HMC would change a lot.
Like you'd have to use Dory for the star on that island in the middle of the cavern.
To be fair, you don't actually have to use Dory. Dory just has to be there, strictly speaking.
You have to make sure she's in camera.
But you have to use the metal. You can't do Christmas Miracle. Well, you could do the triple jump, but you would have to get the metal cap box, for which obviously you would need to get the metal cap.
Oh geez. Yeah, that star would definitely be ripped from the run.
Do whatever. Meanwhile, cleaning up, getting some rolling rocks, the RNG pretty good, and V1RO with an interesting strategy of jumping, planting face first into the deep freeze, but backed it up pretty well.
Yeah, it looked like his speed kick just didn't come out, but I'm not sure. Like it should have had another effect.
And do whatever headed up here into the upstairs part of the upstairs. Not all that far ahead of V1RO. V1RO finishing up SL here. Did do those SL reds.
Yeah, and V1RO is already upstairs, so just a stone's throw away from that tippy door. Dwhatever, moving on in. Glitchy wall kick. The side flip Lakitu bounce setup, and it's good. Instant pole grab. Gets that little corner double jump.
I'd like to point out that this is an individual who has said multiple times over the past 3 weeks that he is not good at Super Mario 64. Especially based on his Princess Secret Slides calls, it's clear that Dwhatever tends to be wrong about a lot of things, and the biggest one is that he is not good at Mario 64, which is a complete, utter lie.
Yeah, I mean, doing Lakitu bounce consistently at all is already a big challenge, but using the setup that Dwhatever just did, that's something only a true top level player could actually accomplish.
Speaking of which, V1RO doing a very, very similar, did not do the glitchy wall kick, but did do, I think he did the no side flip strat.
Yeah, I've been seeing that around a little more often recently. It seems to be fairly consistent for people that use it, but I just can't help it.
Yeah. Dwhatever going to be going for left side tricky triangles, not needing that wall kick, very, very clean. Lost a little contact with Trey. And V1RO.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my internet.
And V1RO picking up these reds. No problem. We are getting you for the most part. And Dwhatever going for the super pro. Swinging in the breeze. Gonna get the ledge grab.
Very nice.
He wasn't even worried. He wasn't even worried.
That single star strat is just insane. Oh man. That's a big pog.
I mean, this is actually this should be illegal. Playing as well, like both of these players playing this well should be illegal.
Now we've got Dwhatever in the talkest, the Clock of Doom.
Indeed, Dwhatever in that thick talk clock. And V1RO right behind him, like pretty hot on his heels, honestly. This is not... I think this is less than 2 Bowser throws of a lead, so definitely not much to scoff.
Yeah, I mean, assuming Dwhatever takes one nice fall and V1RO gets a perfect TTC, like, they could be neck and neck going into Sky.
For sure.
Dwhatever bonking on the triangular platform.
Yeah, honestly, it could be something as little as Dwhatever, couple movement errors, and maybe missing a triple jump walk kick on the moving stars. And V1RO's right back in.
And we got Dwhatever finishing up his 100 coin. That star, I feel like is a very, very viable candidate for hardest star in the game. I've talked before about how multiple stars can fight for that mantle, but I feel like TTC 100 has probably the best argument for being called the hardest star in this route.
I would say,
play.
Yeah, for sure. I'd say it's 1000% the most technical star. If you lose a bunch of time, unless you get like really bad RNG, it's one of those stars where a mistake is going to cost you dearly. It is extremely punishing. It is very, very, very technical. And you have to play perfectly for the whole time.
Yeah, and that's one thing about it is that 90% of it that you lose time on is your fault. The boxes can add some RNG for sure, but the vast majority of them are open enough that you're able to react to the RNG pretty well. But I mean, there's just so much about that star that requires such intense focus, such good muscle memory. TTC as a stage, I feel like takes probably 5 to 10 times as much time and effort to master as any other stage. There's a reason why Punke, when going for 70 world record, talked about getting TikTok and had so many runs get to this stage on pace and then just fall apart. It is very, very demanding, especially at this level.
Yeah, I think a really common phrase that I've heard among top runners, and I think honestly, runners at every level share this opinion, is like, and this is my opinion as well. My favorite level is TikTok clock, except when I'm on PB pace. That's it. Any other time, I love TikTok clock. I love practicing it. I love playing it when my runs are dead. I love playing it when my PBs are free. But when I have a PB that could die, it is the worst level to play because you know that any single mistake could very well cost you. Very, very well cost you. Dwhatever heading over here into his final star here in TTC Reds.
V1RO, nice get a hand. I have to say get a hand is probably my favorite star in TTC.
I really like get a hand. I like moving triple jump wall kick for get a hand. I do not like the intermediate movement for get a hand because there is an invisible wall you might hit.
Dwhatever having some serious problems with reds right now. Wasn't able to get that triple jump on the next platform. Yeah,
I think
he's trying to build up his jump counter for Toadette so he can get that extra moon at the end of the game.
I honestly think he's just trying to practice his A presses because pressing A is the hardest part, and he's about to enter into bits, and he does not want to lose time there.
That's also a fair assessment, I feel like.
Commentators with their theories, neither of them correct, but still going to be pushing them out there. Dwhatever picking up this Todd star, and V1RO going to be headed into his final star here. V1RO seeming to have lost a bit of time over his opponent.
Psionic rating my joke a 10 out of 10. Not sure if that's sarcasm or genuine admiring. But we've got Dwhatever in Sky, so it doesn't matter. 2 long jumps, 1, 2, dive. We're on our way. Let's hope that this triple jump dive goes well.
V1RO did Toad early, that's why. Again, I can't see V1RO's star count, so V1RO actually, nope, not slightly worse TTC than his opponent, probably a little more than 20 seconds behind, but definitely overall very clean TTC from both players, and Dwhatever could get a 48 here.
What a nice adjustment from Dwhatever. If you saw, he was a little bit too far right approaching the moving arrow platform, so actually doing a kick instead of a long jump in order to make sure that he was on that platform.
Indeed.
He's still thinking really, really fast on a stage that's typically almost all muscle memory. If you see on V1RO's screen, you just get on that platform with the rollout normally.
Dwhatever missing a throw here. I think Dwhatever can definitely miss 2 throws. I think maybe he can miss 3. I'm not too sure. I think to be safe, he wants to miss only 2 throws, and he has missed.
Those are the
throw.
2. Oh
Those are
boy,
the 2.
It's within a throw. I feel like.
Yeah, I think if he misses this throw, that okay.
Okay, we've got 1 down. V1RO is hands-on Bowser. D is literally 1 full throw ahead right now.
Not even that, and barely makes it in the nick of time. Not going to be getting that 48, but does manage to take the win over V1RO.
It's still a really, really nice time, especially given everything that happened. I mean, remember, he had to exit course in THI. He had that issue, where else? In TTM with the Blast of the Lonely Mushroom. Like, he easily lost a minute to just dumb things in this run.
And
not sure what exactly happened with V1RO.
So we're getting a heads up from the admin who did administrate their race, and what happened was that V1RO accidentally kicked his PC on the very last throw. Not sure what that entails for the end of the run. It looked like he did miss that throw that we just saw, and
so it looks like V1RO was actually a did not finish because of that.
So Dwhatever going to be locking in 90 points. That feels like such a shame to me because V1RO played so well.
He really did. I mean, that was ultimately a really, really close race. I guess it was literally just the video footage not being there that caused it to be a DNF.
I mean, unfortunately, that kind of is them's the rules, right? If you don't have an Amarek recording of your run, then if your PC gets kicked, like if it stops recording, there's nothing to really verify that you finished the race. So unfortunately,
that's certainly fair.
Yeah, there's no way, and very, very, very unfortunate that V1RO is. Unfortunately, a rematch isn't viable because Dwhatever had finished the race before V1RO kicked his computer. So basically, like Dwhatever was confirmed to have won the race. Unfortunately, like there's really no way there's no way to verify when V1RO finished. If he did finish, because obviously if he kicked his computer, he might have freaked out, thought, you know what, I'm gonna get DNF'd. I'm not even gonna like bother, right? I'm not even sure what happened there, but
yeah, he may have just like straight up put down his controller and messed with the computer for 5 minutes, and that'd be all the points right there.
But
and if kicking the computer crashed it, that I feel like that has something to do with a hardware fault, and that would take much longer than 5 minutes to diagnose. So that's just.
Yeah, hopefully it was just a shock, maybe like a something to the power supply where it got disconnected or something. Hopefully, and it wasn't like something getting dislodged on the motherboard or anything. So it looks like Dwhatever going to be locking in 90 points. Going to be a slick finish from D.
Yeah, we had ourselves two really, really nice runs. V1RO's, I think, really biggest error was just those pillarlesses.
And also kicking his
bobbles
computer
here and there elsewhere. Of course. But I mean, Dwhatever also just playing super, super solid. You can't have a truly perfect run, I feel like, and in Dwhatever's case, the mistakes he made were pretty sizable, but his recovery is really what I think mattered here. And I mean, either way, he did clutch that win, so that's certainly something to.
And a really good point coming out from chat. That if he had hit the throw, we might be talking about a different situation where it's like he hit the throw, he was clearly going to finish. We saw that on screen, and at the end of the day, like pressing A for your text boxes, no one messes that up. So we can just add on 15 seconds to that, or 20 seconds to that, and say, you know what, we'll give him the points for that. But unfortunately, he did miss that throw, so there's no saying how long the run would have gone. But that said, exactly, it's just like you just don't know how many shots you're gonna have to take. But there is one way to figure out how many shots you will have to take, and that's to take those shots in Golf Clash. Go to onyx.tv, download the Golf Clash app, and get free points toward a sub playing some golf.
Beautiful stuff there, Golf Clash. And a beautiful mobile app that can enable you to get some virtual Onyx currency to get a sub for your favorite channel, which is obviously the Global Speedrun Association. I mean, who else streams 24/7 speedrun content? Who else has Task Tuesdays, World Record Wednesdays? Come on, folks. It's a no-brainer. Got to invest that Onyx in GSA.
And I do want to be fair. I feel like we've been neglecting one of our sponsored games. of course, I've been talking a lot about Golf Clash, but I'm sure you've been hearing, maybe you have friends who've been playing a lot of WoW, and you don't know what WoW is. Well, WoW actually stands for World of Warships, which you can also download through the Onyx app. Just go to onyx.tv, and you can earn points playing World of Warships as well. Join all your friends, see what the hype is about, and check it out for sure.
Beautiful stuff. Well, that will be it for this race. Stay tuned, folks, though. We've got another race coming right at you. Draws, or now known as Dowski, against Protoman 5, who has not changed his name. So we'll see what sort of impact name changes have on the RNG of the run. But for now, I'm Electric. With me in the booth, Shantastic. Thanks so much, dude. It's been a pleasure.
Same here. Pleasure's all mine. Have a good night, y'all.
Peace.